different type of nigga. That don't mean that you can treat me just like any type of nigga. Must be used to the niggas not making any type of figures. Take you out of Patrick Henry, introduce you to Lenny.
So the one thing before we get started, just say, introduce yourself and say I'm doing an interview with Infinite
off my
Figures.
smile, sent to check to my
Cool.
Take her out to get a dress and then we slide in the rental. Baby,
like right now?
Whenever you're ready, like you can do whatever you want, bro.
Like whatever, just whatever, huh?
Yeah, just be like, and then be like, I'm doing an interview with Infinite Figures.
We at it. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, cool. What's up? It's your boy CasinotheDon, locked in with Infinite Figures.
Well, that was
Cool.
crazy. That was crazy.
So what you finna do? You finna move on the fuck up. You shorty with casino, then you know that shorty lucked up. I'm fucking with an attitude. I can't get stuck up. You always make me mad and
That was
niggas wonder why we
crazy right
fucked
there.
up.
Okay, we gonna hop straight into it.
All right,
Welcome,
cool.
CasinotheDon, to the little interview. The interview
What's up, man?
going on. We got going on. Nothing too crazy. Tell them what you have going on and tell them about the album that's coming on soon.
All right, man. So, CasinotheDon, 7-5's finest, as many people refer to me as. I got an album coming out with my boy King Cole on the 30th. Shaq and Kobe the mixtape, volume 1. Collaboration of efforts we've been working on throughout the year. A couple songs started out from, just on some playful, let's get in there, get it done, get it knocked out. And then the energy that we were bringing, sound we were coming up with, wasn't like too many we were hearing in our area, let alone too many we were hearing on a different level than where we're on now. So we were just like, all right, let's see what we can do with it. And so one of my friends told me, damn, y'all like Shaq and Kobe with it. So then we were like, all right, cool. Let's run with that.
I'm going to put the album and the release date is November 30th, right?
Yes, sir.
November 30th. So we're a few days away.
Yeah.
Get your earbuds ready. Get ready for that.
Hey, man.
Am I going to be on there? Am I going to be on there?
Hey, listen, man. We're a week out. So look, I know for sure if you need one, we got you on volume 2 for sure. If you need a verse, you need a spot, we got you.
Got you.
Most definitely.
So I like like you said, what you mentioned about how you and King So collaborate. Like you guys were together on different ways, right?
Yeah.
That's gotta be one of my favorite ones. I be playing that in the car.
Yeah, man.
Different ways I was going dinner date.
Yeah, man. The thing about Cole is the reason that I really kind of got into it in a way. You know what I mean? I got very few influences with people that brought me into it and were like, man, you should just do it. He's been doing it for a little minute now, like for a couple of years now, maybe since like early high school. He's been going at it with his music thing. He's been doing his thing for a little while. And, he was just like, man, come on. He brought me out. He brought me onto a mic. He was like, let's go for it. And the first one we ever did was Different Ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's definitely one of the big ones on the collection. So, So we'll go around that topic of big songs. Like you got quite a couple pieces out, especially in 2021. You got very active, dropping a lot of different things like One of a Kind, Only the Real Volume 1, Hate Me, all these ones, all these big, staples that really show you who you are. So tell us, like, how did you find your sound, especially in the music? Because, there's so many people that just, pick up a mic and they just do what they hear. Like, how do you make yours different than everybody else's?
Well, one thing I already had a slight advantage in was my voice was automatically different. Mm-hmm. Just off the wake up, one day I got up at 15 and my voice just changed. It was like this forever. So it was no going back. So yeah, I had to figure out, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to do something with it. Well, know what I mean? Regardless of what I'm doing, I got to figure out how to use it and use it right. So through a lot of practice and a lot of things I was doing throughout, like, hosting different events or parties or whatever, or being just the class president, having speeches and graduations and whatnot, I had things that I had to use my voice for. And I hadn't thought about music. I think I'm coming up it just passed a year of me doing music. So music wasn't on my radar until about a year ago. And then I had a couple of friends of mine they were like, you know, man, come on, like hop on a beat, freestyle. You know what I'm saying? Stuff you do like that in the car, the lunchroom, or whatever the case may be. And through there and through different avenues like that, I started hearing myself sound a different way and hearing people's reactions to certain things. And one thing I always stress when I'm listening to music is versatility. So I wanted to make sure if I was going to do it, I had versatility. I had different ways to do it. I had, you know, different sounds. I had a different flow I could come on this song with, a different, you know, message or a different type of energy I can come on this song with. So, you know, that's pretty much how I ended up finding my way into it, trying different things out. Just like spaghetti, you throw it on the wall. If it sticks, it sticks.
Yeah. And so the 75's finest, like, speak to that. What does that really mean? What does that
mean? Look, so if you know me, you know I'm from 757. You know what I mean? It's 7 cities and Hampton Roads. I'm from Hampton, Virginia. And, you know, I just heard people all the time be like, you know, oh, you know, it's Norfolk's finest is in the building or Hampton's finest is in the building. You know what I mean? And I was just like that, you know, that's kind of all right. And as a kid, I just thought about it and it was just always something I heard. But when we're coming back to different ways again, when I was in the booth with Cole, and he was like, man, you know, hop in and, you know what I'm saying, do some ad-libs. And mind you, this was my first time in the booth for real. I didn't know what ad-libs were. He was like, do doubles. I was like, what's doubles? He was like, you know, double up your sound, double up your octaves, double up the, what you just did. I was like, all right, cool. He was like, all right, now do some libs. And I had zero clue what to say because 9 times out of 10, I'm just, you know, I'm going to get through the verse itself and I'm just focusing on delivery. I'm not really focusing on what the background is going to sound like. And then they threw me in there and it just came out like the 75's finest. And then from there, it stuck. From there, everybody was like, the producer, the engineer was like, yo, you need to run with that. Cole was like, you need to run with that. You need to do something with that.
When did you really pick up, like, say, I'm really about to start doing this seriously? Because we know a lot of different people, they rap for fun in school and stuff like that. But, you know, it's not really going anywhere. They have, like, SoundCloud artists and things like that. But, like, it's very stagnant. How do you grow your audience and make it so people can tell you're different from these people who are just rapping on the weekends to doing it for real?
Well, one thing that I always stress about myself is just an individual as a man or whatever I'm getting into. If I'm gonna do it, I'm not gonna half-ass it. You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go ahead and do it all the way. Which is why when a lot of people my age or a lot of people even before me in high school, etc., like I just said, Cole was doing music long before I was. We were around people that were doing music long before I ever thought about it. You know what I mean? And you know, here and there, I've done a couple songs just on some, you know, we partying and making a couple tracks or whatever because somebody got a microphone. But when I decided to pick it up, I was just like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm not really big on self. I don't listen to my music much. Like I'll listen to it to check it out, hear it, you know what I'm saying, break down, I need to break down and try to work on something for the next project. But when other people were telling me, hey man, you know what I'm saying, I like this. This is actually like kind of all right. And then when it started opening different doors for me, like you just said, one of a kind. I blast JR on the regular, you know what I mean? And then when the opportunity came to have JR on something with me, that's what made me go, okay, this might be something I need to go ahead and put my energy in the direction of. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it kind of went from all right, I'm going to try it out, see where it goes. I'm going to try it out, test it as a hobby. And, you know, it turned into something that's, you know, that's part of what I do now.
So tell us, like, the average week for CasinotheDon. Tell us, like, how's it going through, like, how you fit in that? Because I know you're going to school and things like that. Yeah, so definitely. How do you fit being an artist into that space as well? Well,
one of the things that make it the easiest and one of the things that helps me manage all of it is Cash and Casino are 2 different people. You know what I mean? You know, it's kind of like Bruce Wayne and Batman. During the day, Bruce Wayne got to handle what he got to handle. And when it comes time, when that signal come out, you know what I'm saying? Suit up and hop in the Batmobile and take off. That's pretty much symbolizes what I got to do on a daily basis with this. It's just like, okay, you know, I handle my school, I handle my work, my family stuff, personal stuff, around all of my music stuff. And my music is actually a product of what I go through or what I see or what I do on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just put words together that rhyme. I feel like if you don't have much to say or you don't have some type of content, story, message, or actual real live events to talk about, then I don't feel like you should really be, you know what I'm saying, too much music. So day to day, I just break it up. I break it down and split it apart as far as, okay, I'm going to separate and I'm going to dedicate these couple hours to cash. I'm going to dedicate the rest of the day to casino. I'm going to dedicate this casino. I'm going to dedicate these hours or these days to casino and the rest of them to cash. So, you know what I mean? Day to day, I might write a couple hours, get up, read a little bit, try to soak up my environment, soak up how I'm feeling today. If I feel inspired, I move. If I don't really try to force anything out. Because when you get to forcing things out, it starts to become repetitive and it starts to become, you know what I'm saying, just a loop of the same stuff you heard before.
Got you. So I'm gonna try to spit some lyrics.
Uh-oh.
No, not my own, but we don't want to burn up the whole crib. But
hey man, look, we got an interview to finish up. You can't just light the interview ablaze.
I can't just light the whole blaze on fire, like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, you gotta chill.
There's children here, bro. Like,
right, there's women and children.
Yeah. So I'm like in the bar. One of the bars that she really got me on is you can only trust her when she lying asleep, bro.
Oh yeah. I only trust her when she's
tell me what, like what you said earlier. All your music comes from a place from your own experiences and also Absolutely. Different things like that. So speak to bars like that and also like some things that you put in songs and you're just like, maybe you guys missed this because like this is like gems. Like
most definitely. That bar specifically. I was dealing with somebody at the time, you know what I mean, where literally I only saw the things that she would do with me, but I see how she'd act and spin it and place it and call it with everything else and everybody else. So I'm just like, okay, if it's that easy for you to lie to everybody else, I know it can't be hard for you to lie to me. Mm-hmm. You can't expect me to believe that you lie to everybody but me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, that's what kind of made me go, okay, I only trust her when she's snoring because she can't lie when she sleeps. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? She can't lie when she sleep. She sleep. She ain't doing no talking. She ain't doing. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's an amazing talent to not only write, but like to bring something like into your life, like onto the paper, like because a lot of people, that's what the struggle is, the translation to there. So do you feel like music is like an outlet for you as well?
Absolutely. Like, absolutely, without question. I don't feel like I really would have even started this, if you know what I mean, if it hadn't been for me needing somewhere to just release certain things that I was feeling or certain things that I was going through. You know what I mean? Especially in the Black culture. And, we always have a tendency to just put it on our backs as men and just keep it pushing to the next day. You know what I mean? We don't really find a whole lot of creative outlets or a whole lot of, conducive and healthy outlets to be able to just let ourselves go and feel just vulnerable and whatnot. But I knew the first time I grabbed the microphone and I was just bleeding on the microphone, it was just like, okay, man, this is a source for me to just get the stuff off my chest, feel how I'm gonna feel, do what I'm gonna do, and be able to come here and get it out, be able to come here and translate it and pack it down into something where I can move it, and hopefully it'll either remind somebody of something they've been through and realize, okay, I can do more, or inspire somebody to want to do better, etc., whatever the case may be.
Just the inspiration for your album cover of the song Rookie of the Year. Yeah. I feel like this is the one you use for a lot of different things. Like I've seen this picture a lot when it comes to you, especially like on your United Masters and things like that. Like I've seen that. Definitely. So take us into this moment because we see you at the stew. We see, you looking drippy, bro. Like this is during quarantine. Like we know This is about a time where a lot of people were either like finding out, losing a lot, like whether it be relatives and things like that. Tell us how you were able to lock in during this time.
That time was actually my first trip to LA, which it had been in a couple of years. I went to go visit my brothers and surprise my folks because I hadn't been out there in a few years, just dealing with life and school, etc. You know what I mean? But then when COVID hit, it made me realize, okay, you know, life is real short. You know what I mean? Especially losing the people that were closest to me at the time. I lost a couple of family members, you know, my great grandma or whatever. And, you know, at that time, it kind of helped me realize, all right, you know what I mean? I got to do, you know what I got to do to be able to stick around the people that I love. You know what I mean? So I just went out there on, you know, on the personal tip, you know what I mean? Just fly out there and, you know, just chill for a minute, kick my feet back and just be with the people that love me. And I ended up stumbling across one of these producers out there through my dad. Because my dad, if it's one thing that man will do, he's going to plug me. My dad, anywhere he goes, he'll just be like, oh, yeah, you know, my son, he makes music and this, that, and the third. So he ended up passing it on and passing it around. And, you know, we were just playing it in a room somewhere. And one of our mutual family friends was just like, hey, man, you got time while you're out here. I was like, absolutely. He was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm going to hook you up with Rob. And we're going to get you in the studio for a couple of hours. And I was like, all right, well, you know, how much are we talking? He was just like, it's my studio. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it for free. He was like, you got to be able to put something together and put something out while you're out here. Gotcha. So it was just like, okay, wow, cool. Like, you know what I mean? I was kind of wrapped up in the whole motion of just being cast. I'm out there on a family. I'm out there as a family man. Yeah. And then, you know, they're like, all right, cool. Now we just got to lock you in as an artist. And then when I went in there as an artist, you know what I mean? It was just a totally different mode. You know, I'm right now, I'm on business time. You know what I mean? It's not really much personal. If it's something that can't help me in the booth or something that can't help me with my music, it really don't have any place in the studio. You know what I mean? I'm not really big into, you know, well, fun is fun. You know, you're going to have fun regardless. I'm big on fun. I'm huge on fun. I don't like going anywhere without having fun. But there's a time and a place for fun and goofing off. You know what I mean? There's a difference between the two. So we can get in here, we can lock in and have fun, but we also got to handle our business. You know what I mean? And that was just a big source of where that picture came from. Me and my brother, we had just finished laughing and goofing off or whatever. And then the producer was like, hey, man, we ready? He was like, all right, I got the beat up. We ready. And I was all right, cool. And that was me getting up and going into the booth. You know, I was just like, all right, it is what it is. It's go time. It's showtime.
And can you explain for the viewers who Rob is?
Rob is a producer. Rob Elfazy is a producer out in Los Angeles, Stage One Sound Studios. The man is legit. You know what I mean? He did some stuff that I didn't even know you could really do. And it had been my first time being in a studio of that size, being in a studio with that style of equipment, of that caliber. You know what I'm saying? Being around people that I've been around. I mean, being around the people that he's been around and making the moves that he's making. It was just like, wow. You know what I mean? In a way, you know, you were almost kind of, the moment felt really big. But it's like, all right, you know what I mean? If this is what you're going for. A moment is going to feel big. And I was just blessed to be able to lock in with somebody like Rob on my first go round in a situation like that. Because we still to this day have a pretty good relationship where I'll call Rob, just hit up Rob and text him, you know, just see how he's doing and whatnot. And he'll call me, text me, see how I'm doing, if I'm working on anything. And we'll just, you know what I mean? I'll be back in the area soon. So I'll actually be getting in touch with him in just a little bit.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you have that experience. So just speak to some of the other people that are pursuing their dream. Tell them what type of steps, what type of discipline do they need to have in order to get as you're going on the path you're going, that you're making for yourself, making yourself a serious artist that other people can work with and respect.
Me, I'm a huge Nip fan, and Nip was always speaking on, you know, having a higher drive than self and having a higher goal to obtain than just for yourself. And I also agree with, you know, you got to work hard, you got to stand out. And anything that you want to do in life is not going to really come easy. And if it's going to come easy, you need to make sure it comes a whole lot easier than that, because you got to keep on doing it. You got to find out what made it easy the first time and do it again to make it easier over and over again. You know what I mean? You got to work hard, and it's not going to be easy. And like Nip said, you know, it's a lot of times where you feel like quitting. And what's going to set you apart from the people that made it and the people that didn't is you're not going to quit. You know what I mean? You just got to take it there. And if it's something that you want, take it day by day. And you just got to realize goals are goals, dreams are dreams, and every goal and dream isn't achieved. But if you count yourself out before you even get the chance to even work towards them, you're doing yourself and your dream a disservice, because you really never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take it from a humble standpoint of, I'm going to try, I'm going to work my ass off, and I'm going to do it. And even if it doesn't click or doesn't work out, and hey, you can never say that you didn't try. But if you didn't try, you didn't work towards it. You mess around and look up, and the same people that you know you could have had a better song than them, you know you got a better flow than them, you know you can go harder than them. They rocking out the same stages you had an opportunity to be on, but you just wasn't trying to push the button and take it there. You know what I mean?
And can you speak to like the practical steps, like what actually you had to go through? Because I'm sure it's not like, it's like processes like this is what has been kind of hard for people outside of the community to actually see, like to actually be a part of, like similar to like acting. Like most people nowadays couldn't just walk into an agency and ask for an acting job. So tell us how you do this to get in connection with other people like that and things like that.
First and foremost, you know, I just want to be able to thank God for the opportunity and the ability that I have to be able to take certain just stuff just comes to me on occasion. And it's just like, all right, man, you know, I want to do something with this. And, you know, I don't have the voice that other people have. I don't have the versatility that other people have. You know what I mean? I'm already on a different course with different things like that. You know what I mean? I'm not really one of those guys where you're not going to hear me speak. Because nine times out of 10, I'm the loudest in the room just based off depth. You know what I mean? So it takes a lot, you know, take it day by day and decide, you know, I'm going to work towards this and it's going to be something I want to do. And when it's something that I decided I wanted to do, I had to realize, okay, it's going to take me some time to just go in a room and decide, all right, I'm going to work towards a tape. I'm gonna set up and I'm gonna do a tape. It's like me and Cole did for this Shaq and Kobe tape. We're gonna set up and we're gonna decide how many songs we're gonna put up here. We're gonna decide what type of vibe and energy and flow we're gonna have for each one. Because you don't ever want to just operate in the field of chaos. Because if you operate in the field of chaos, you're bound to end up with a chaotic product. So you're going to decide what you want to do first, what your goal is, who you're trying to reach, what each song's goal and what each song's message conveys. You know what I mean? So you just want to take it day by day. Find you a beat that speaks to you. Don't find the beats you can rap on. You know what I mean? Because if you ask a rapper to rap on a beat, it's not going to be hard. You know what I mean? Ask somebody that just rhymes on a daily basis to rhyme on a beat, it's probably not going to be difficult to them. But when you find something that moves you and you move when you're inspired, then you really can't lose. You're setting yourself up for success. So find what you want to do for each specific. Take it day by day, take it notch by notch, step by step. Start small to work towards a bigger product.
That's great advice. That's great advice. And like, I'm just kind of curious, like, was you doing something different than the rest of us to get the voice? Like, were you like kale juice or something and sleeping on your stomach?
No, man. I've been trying to figure it out myself for the past couple of years because it's just like, man, I don't know where it came from. Like people would ask me like the craziest questions at work just on a day-to-day basis because they hear it and they're just like, man, like my husband is like 60 years old and the voice is nowhere near yours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's strange because, like I said, I just woke up one morning and it was like that. And before it was like this, it was nowhere near this. So it's not like I always had, you know, a deep voice or a deeper registered voice. Not even close. Not even close.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
And so just looking at your discography and things like that, you made a lot of songs 2021. And now you're also adding this project at the end. Like you talk about the discipline and things like that. How are you able to make yourself the creative process work? Like tell us first how you make you have the creative process to drop all these different things, because it takes energy and things like that to come up with something creatively. And tell us what's like the idea or like the planning behind dropping so many different individual things in 1 year?
Well, I can honestly say that when this is something that you kind of get into a mood or a mode of doing, that you find a little period of time where a lot of people call it like a zone, or like you get into your bag. At some point in this year, I tripped and fell into my bag, and I looked up. And if you were to go on my phone right now and just open my notes, man, like it's just, I'm talking about like just hours worth of material, hours worth of music that's in there just sitting that I haven't touched yet. And I often found that, okay, cool. I can do all of these and these will all be straight, but I don't want to just keep putting out stuff that's straight. I don't want to put nothing out that's all right. Because 100 people are going to put out songs that are all right this year. You know what I mean? And I'm not in a position where I want to be heard and I want to do this for the right reasons. You know what I mean? I'm not, like, at the end of the day, fame don't really mean that much to me. As long as I can set my people up to be straight, I'm good. And from looking at it from that point of view, and, keeping it humble and keeping it from the position of, I'm not doing this for me. This is really for anybody that's with me and after me. You know what I mean? This is really all who I'm setting this up for. It gave me the point of view to be able to go, all right, cool. Let's turn this into something that's not geared towards me. Let's gear this towards, it might be about me, but I'm going to gear this towards the people that feel where I'm coming from, with the energy of, I want to do this for the right reasons. I want to do this to make sure my family is good. I want to do this to make sure the people around me are straight forever. So that's what made me just be able to hop into my bag and go, all right, cool, I'm going to knock out 30 songs this year, because each of those songs puts me on a different platform and a different wavelength in front of different people, making different noise in different places. You know what I mean? And, I'm blessed enough to see money from all of that, just based off of where it is and per streams and all that. You know what I mean? And so I mean, it's kind of fun, to be honest. It got to a point where it was fun to me. So it was just like, all right, if I got some free time, I'm gonna use it to go to the studio. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really believe in idle time. Idle time is really just a lot. It's where complacency starts. And when you get comfortable, you know what I mean? That's where you derail yourself. Because when you start to get comfortable, you start to feel like you can't get past stuff. And the second you're not working, somebody else is.
For, like you were saying about like making capital off the music and things like that, like, is there any things in the process you wish you knew beforehand that you think?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. One thing I always, hindsight is 2020. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of stuff that, you put your towards on the back end, as far as putting the money into the dream and getting the money out of the dream. It's a lot of stuff that I would do a whole lot less for certain stuff if I knew I was going to get the same. Let me break it down like this. You ever done something where you've done it like to your fullest extent and you realize, well, dang, I could have done a whole lot less and came out with the same product?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of time where me being new and me being just a rookie to the whole thing was just like, okay, cool. I'm going to just come in here and I'm going to try to do all of this. And I got my hands full with so much stuff. I got so much stuff on every eye of the stove that I ain't even looked up to realize that when you put it in the right places, or you put it on certain platforms and you do certain things, that 95% of the work is done for you. You know what I mean? So it was really just a learning process through these first couple months with the first couple tracks. Like, okay, cool. It's going to be an investment. It's going to be some days I go into the studio and I don't like anything I come out with. I'm going to come out with it. I'm going to like it when I hear it. I'm going to like it when I do it. But then the more I listen to it, I can go, all right, cool, I can do better. You know what I mean? We're going to do this next time. So we go back to the lab and we try it again, which is another investment, depending on how much your engineer or whatever studio you're going to charges per hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I agree with that completely. Like, working super hard in one area and then realizing like that.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like doing a class project and doing 100% of the work and realizing that y'all both gonna share the same A. It was like, okay, well,
yeah, yeah.
Well,
so one of the final few questions I'll do is, let's say, what's a good, like, the perfect situation that you could see coming out of this, like the whole artist and the whole thing?
Really, if I get to a position where I can put the people that mean the most to me in a position where they never have to worry about anything again, I work for the rest of my life until the day I flatline. If it means that they're okay, they're good, and they don't have to lift a finger. You know what I mean? So if I can run a stretch for a year where I can put out enough on a day-to-day basis, if I got to put out a song every day, you know what I mean? Then it'll be that. You know, a perfect year to me looks like me capitalizing on every opportunity that I have, me working towards every goal that I set for myself, me achieving every goal I have set for myself, surpassing every goal that I have set for myself, and still making sure that I'm taking care of the people around me, all while having fun and doing what I need to do for who I need to do it for and what I need to do it for at the same time.
Yeah, that's a big goal, big accomplishment, and I hope you reach that. So tell them one more time about the album for you and King So, Shaq and Kobe, November 30th.
My boy King Co, me and King Co dropping the album on the 30th. Shaq and Kobe, the mixtape, volume 1. You know, we start out with singles, you know what I mean? Just to get you acquainted with our sounds, show you what I can do, show you what Co can do, you know what I mean? Just a little bit solo, and then we merge together and we bring it back home and we show you exactly how well we work together. Awesome. We show you exactly what we can do from track 1 to 11 on the 30th, midnight, all platforms, every single one you can think of. So go cop up.
And is there any artists that you hope to work with in the future?
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, the list goes on and on. You know what I mean? I was blessed enough to knock one off my list earlier this year. Hopefully, I'll be able to work with him again. You know, when it comes down to it, I got a lot of people in the game that I look up to. You know what I mean? You know, you got your legends, you got your untouchables. You know what I mean? The people that you just see yourself, it would be a blessing to ever be able to be in this position. You know what I'm saying? You got your Drakes, you got your Jay-Z's, you got your Coles, you got your Kendricks, you got your Snoop Dogs, you got your Games. You know what I mean? Work with producers like Drake, Timbaland, all that, Pharrell. You know what I mean? Things like that would be a blessing. You know what I mean? But top 5 people I can see in the foreseeable future, I'm going to try to get done within the next 2-3 years. Davies. Blast and Bino. Definitely. I low-key want to do some work with Mulatto.
Okay. Okay.
Shucks, man. Yeah, like I said, I could really sit here and rattle some off, but we got Baby. I love to do work with Lil Baby. Hell, man. Jesus. And if we got one more for the road, hell, one more for the road, I'll take. Ooh. Matter of fact, I'm gonna flip the question on you. Who would you want to see me work with?
I mean, just based off your sound and stuff, I would want to see you, like, if we're saying, like, let's make it a little bit more challenging. Let's say like next 2-3 years. I'll say I could see you with the King Shaw. I could see you with Rod Wave. I could see you with an A Shoddy. You know A Shot? Yeah. I see you with even, you know, a Young Manny or something like that. That would go crazy. I see you with the Flo Milli.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Maybe even IDK.
Yeah. Everybody you've listed is hard. And I hadn't even, you know what I'm saying, thought about a few of those people. And a few of those people would definitely, you know what I mean? They're definitely dogs in the game. People that you would love to get around and be able to work with and bounce ideas off of, for sure.
So on this album, are we gonna see you hit a couple high notes?
Yeah, it's a few in there. There's a few in there, most definitely.
Okay.
For sure. Cole definitely encourages me to get in there and do the vocals. He definitely encourages that. Most definitely.
That's awesome. Is there any processes that you think that people don't see that are like that's you as an artist, like a serious artist, have to go through that people underlook or don't know about?
Man, I really don't think people understand the degree of difficulty it takes to find a good beat, to put good words and good sounds on it, and actually make it a good song. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people think it's a whole lot easier than it is to find a beat and make a good song. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people hear a song and go, oh, okay, I can make this. But if you take that same beat and just take a random beat and give it to somebody and say, okay, go, the odds of you coming up with the same thing are slim to none. And I found that out just working with some of my own friends. You know what I mean? I'll send the beat to him and he'll send the beat to me, and we come with two totally different sounds. Yeah. Sometimes they merge, sometimes they don't. But it's really a trip when you see, okay, man, wow. Seeing what different people come up with things like that is crazy. So I think a lot of people overlook how difficult it really is to take something and turn it into something that actually has like replay value. Or something that, you know what I mean, is worthwhile when it comes to listening to.
Say somebody is coming a little bit along. They're starting to make a little bit of money off the music they're starting to produce. What's the best course of action?
Hey, man, if you're not saving your money, you're wasting your money, to me. You know what I mean? I feel like if you make 100, put up 50. You know what I'm saying? If you make 100,000, put up 50,000. If you make $100 today, put up $50 today. You know what I mean? Save half of what you make and put that half somewhere that you make, somewhere that you know what I'm saying? You're going to be less inclined to touch it. And when you touch it, you're going to realize that you're touching it. It's going to make you feel a whole lot less apt to want to spend that money. You know what I mean? Because when it's just accessible and you got the money that you're saving mixed in with the money that you're spending, it's going to be a whole lot easier to just swipe, spin. And you look up at the money that you're making, you know what I'm saying? Looks like a whole lot less than what you've been working for and the amount that you've been working. So, I mean, if you're making this money and you're starting to get into some real money, no matter how big or small, if you're making it, it's big money. You know what I mean? If it's money that you got out the house and work for every day, it's big money. So if you're making that money, just put it to the side. Put something to the side. It ain't got to be 50%, put 25% to the side. Hell, if you're making $100 check, put 10 of it to the side. And by the time you get 10 months out of the 12 months in, that's $100. That's a whole check you sitting on in a couple of months that you ain't even had to work for because you just saving. So rainy days, etc. You know what I'm saying? You got something that you can fall back on, worst case scenario. If it ever goes left, you're not just sitting there scratching your head with your palms and pocket something. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much again for taking some time.
Man, pleasure's all mine. I appreciate you.
Yeah, we thank you so much for having you, and we definitely gonna send you some gear.
Oh yeah, for sure. And looking forward to
it. I'm gonna tell them one more time. November 30th.
November 30th.
Shaq and Kobe coming out soon.
All platforms.
Thank you so much, CasinotheDon, the 75's finest.
Yes, sir. You know what it is. All good, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate you for having me, man.
No problem. Any last words you want to say to them?
Hey, man. If you got something that you're working for, you got something that you're working towards, go get it. You know what I mean? Wake up, eat right, live right, do right, and everything will be all right. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you.
So.